Hello, my name is Dr. Koheli Bhattacharya and this is the second part of a 5-part video series on myopia. Part 1 was on what is myopia and what causes myopia and how to control or treat myopia. In today's video, we are going to be discussing one of the cutting edge ways how you can stop the development of myopia and the progress of myopia. So let's get into the video. So today's video is on myopia and outdoor sunlight time. Yes, I have made a video on outdoor sunlight time and myopia. It is in Hindi a few years back. The reason why I made it in Hindi that time was because there was already so much research on outdoor sunlight time that I thought my Hindi speaking patients should also know about it. But what has happened over the time and why we are making this video again with a lot of evidence-based research is a lot of people take this very lightly. They are like, doctor said outdoor sunlight time, and they do not follow through. So in today's video, we are going to go in depth on how actually outdoor sunlight time affects your myopia, what is the extensive research that has gone into outdoor sunlight time. So let's get into the video. The first thing is why, the next is how, the third is how much, and the last is what and when. That is how the video is going to be divided. So the first is why. Why should you even care if outdoor sunlight time controls myopia? And the first question maybe you ask is that, doctor, my child doesn't have myopia. My child does not have a minus number, does not have short-sightedness. So why should I even watch this video? So this is the reason. Now we're going to be sharing a lot of research here. So there has been done a research by the Myopia Research Lab in LV Prasad, Hyderabad, which estimates that 64 million children of the age 5 to 15 in India will have myopia by the year 2050. 64 million. Also, there is an estimation that 5 billion people will have myopia by the age 2050 around the world. So these huge numbers like 64 million, 5 billion people and children especially having myopia is something to be worried about. And one of the very simple and easy ways that you can take responsibility and you can do something about it is by outdoor sunlight time. Therefore, you should care about myopia. The second thing is, with the increasing in screen time, with the increasing in digital time, with the increase in the near work and the amount of studies that today's children are doing, definitely you see an increase in the myopia. So one of the best ways to decrease it is we cannot be decreasing our screen time because that is how the world is advancing. All the studies, even we spend more time on our screens. You must be watching this video also either on your laptop or on your phone. So this is but unavoidable that education medium and entertainment medium is all going to be through screens and in a short distance. So that is how the world is evolving. So we need to use something else rather than just say stop using screens, right? So that is why outdoor sunlight time. Now we go into my favorite part, which is why is outdoor sunlight time better than carrots, better than restricting your phone and mobile use, and even better than atropine drops when it comes to myopia control. The first, let us go into carrots. Now, I want to share these numbers with you. So there are 245 researches. If you search PubMed, there are 245 researches if you search myopia and outdoor sunlight time. Do you know how much research has been done on myopia and carrots? Zero. There is zero number of research which has done with having carrots will reduce the myopia. So that is the first thing. Now you are like, no doctor, it's not the carrots, it's the vitamin A. So there are only 46 studies which have been done between myopia and vitamin A, and they have found in these studies that myopia does not get reduced by taking vitamin A supplement or taking vitamin A in the form of carrots or in any form of vitamin A or carrots, right? The second is restricting phone or screen time. On this, 123 studies have been done on PubMed, and we are going to make a separate video on screen time, mobile time and phones, right? But again, what should I say? There is a way of testing significance. So what is significance? Significance is how significant will be the change in their myopia reduction if we reduce screen time. So that is the significance of a study, the p-value. Okay, so the significant or the p-value of a study has shown that outdoor sunlight time is more significant in controlling the myopia than your screen time, at least in studies which I've done till now. The next is atropine drops. Yes, atropine drops have a tremendous lot of studies which have been done on putting atropine drops and controlling the progression of myopia. Now, why is outdoor sunlight time even better than atropine drops, even though there is more studies on atropine drops? It is because outdoor sunlight time has shown that it reduces the onset, the development of myopia by 50%. That means children who do not have myopia will also benefit through outdoor sunlight time. And that is what we want to start at, right? Atropine drops can only be used in progressive myopia and people who already have myopia. And so, outdoor sunlight time can stop the initiation of myopia. So, isn't that even better? The other thing is that outdoor sunlight time works in multiple ways, which we will go into subsequently, while atropine drops has been shown to have lesser ways in which that it controls myopia. So it controls by axial length mostly, while outdoor sunlight time has multiple different ways that it is controlling myopia. So it is more multi-pronged. Therefore, outdoor sunlight time outweighs absolutely any other modality of controlling myopia. I want this to sink in for everyone. I know I spoke a bit fast, but I want to reiterate what I just said. Even if your child does not have myopia, you still want to give them outdoor sunlight time. Even if your child is restricting phone, you still want to give them outdoor sunlight time. Even if you're giving your child 1000 carrots a week, you still want to give outdoor sunlight time. Even if your child is on atropine drops, you still want to give them outdoor sunlight time. I hope this message is loud and clear. Now we go into how exactly does outdoor sunlight time affect the growth of the eyes. So now I want to just go over this paper which is in the International Journal of Environment Research, where they did a meta-analysis of 13 studies which had already been done and which had 15,000 students from the age 4 to 14. And they found that there with outdoor sunlight time, it reduces myopia incidence, meaning the chances of getting myopia by 50%. Would you not want that for your child? The second is it slows down myopia progression by 32.9%, which is almost 33%. Would you not want that for your child? And the next is it stops or reduces axial elongation by 24.9%, 25%. Why is this so important? That axial length decrease may have been only 25%, while the slowing down of myopia progression was almost 33%. This is so important because many of the studies only test for axial elongation. Many of the studies are, okay, we are going to measure myopia by only how long has the axial length grown. But outdoor sunlight time has many different ways that it is affecting the eyes. So how is it doing that? So a lot of studies have gone into it, and let's go into a few of the mechanisms, okay? The first is the brightness of light, which is the key ingredient, okay? Most of the studies will say that the reason why outdoor sunlight time is so effective is because the brightness of light. Many of you will be like, okay, so if I switch on all the lights in my house, get really bright lights, will that be enough? No, even the brightest of indoor lights, indoor lighting can never compare to outdoor light. Again, this study has been done multiple times, but one of these studies was by Lanka C, where they compared that even if it's a cloudy day, even if it is you're wearing a hat, even if you're wearing sunglasses, then also there was multiple studies which have compared the light intensity. So how much is the light intensity? If you really are interested in finding out more on the researches, I'll put down a few researches here. So the first thing is it is the brightness of the light that enhances the myopia results, and this level of brightness is measured by lux. Luxometers have measured it, and even on the brightest of days, brightest of rooms cannot compare with even a cloudy day. So outdoor lighting will always be brighter, right? So the next thing is the reduced peripheral defocus. Multiple studies have tried to make peripheral defocus by giving you spectacles which can create peripheral defocus. But one of the easiest ways to create this kind of peripheral reduction in peripheral defocus is going outdoors. Multiple ways that it does this. The first is the brightness of the light. The brightness of the light causes constriction of the pupil. The pupil becomes small. This increases your focus and it reduces the chances of peripheral defocus, the peripheral hyperopic defocus. Some people thought it might be because of the high vitamin D that you get from sunlight. And a lot of parents also feel that sunlight gives only vitamin D. So they are like, doctor, our child is already taking vitamin D supplements, so they don't need outdoor sunlight time. New research has shown that vitamin D does not have any role to play with the outdoor sunlight time. This is also very key because once you put sunscreen on your skin, vitamin D levels that the skin can form is much less. So you want to send your child out in the sun with a good sun protection of sunscreen. This is important. The next is lesson near work. A lot of people think that yes, if you send your child outdoors in sunlight for 2 hours, that means those for 2 hours they're not using the screen time, and it must be because they were not on the screen, that is why the results were found. No, they have done studies in which they have compared that even though the near work time is the same, they have not reduced any of the screen time and the child went outdoors and had outdoor sunlight time, they still got the protective mechanism of the sunlight. The next is relaxed accommodation. Again, it comes down to near work. When you're doing near work, your eyes are in accommodation. It causes eye strain. It causes, the lens changes, and it may be causing an increase in myopia. Again, if you go outdoors, you have a wider field where you're looking, when you're relaxed, you're not doing any near work, you're not sitting with your screen outdoors, and therefore that may be having some benefits in the outdoor sunlight time. The next, people thought that maybe because the children go out, they get more physical activity. Now, studies have shown that your child need not be doing any physical activity, and there is no correlation between the amount of physical activity the child has outdoors. So the studies that they did was that indoors, in indoor rooms, the child did a lot of indoor activity, lot of basketball, lot of indoor activities, and did that show decrease in myopia? No, it did not show decrease in myopia. Why is this study so important? Because a lot of parents feel like, oh, but my child does not like to play football, does not like to play cricket. Doctor, what will the child do in the outdoor? Your child can just walk, your child can just cycle, your child can just sit and gaze out into the, the environment, just be on a playground, just on a swing, and that is also enough. Your child does not need to be doing physical strenuous exercise to get the benefits of outdoor sunlight time. The next thing was the different chromatic spectrum. Why is this important? A lot of people ask me that is it the early morning sun which will be better, or will it be the late evening sun which will be better, or do we need to send them out in the hot sun, in the afternoon sun? Really, it does not matter, because what we are really testing is for two things: the brightness of the light and the duration of time that your child is out. If the morning is the time that you can send your child out, that's fine. Even then, they are going to get a brighter light than anything indoors. If it's evening, that is also fine. If it's afternoon, that is also fine. Of course, the change in circadian rhythm happens with the change in chromatic spectrum. So if you or your child go out early morning, or for the sunrise, or are in the outdoors the minute you wake up, that will cause increase in the dopamine cycling in your brain, also will regulate your melatonin in your body, also help you have deeper sleep through the day, also keep you more awake. So those are other advantages of getting sunlight during the early morning hours. Also, getting sunlight during the late evening hours will also help to release the melatonin, help your body prepare for sleep. So that is the circadian rhythm effects of outdoor sunlight, which you can also benefit without having benefit on the myopia, but it does not affect. If you are like, I don't have the time, you can send any time will work. The next thing is higher spatial frequency. Again, being able to have a bigger area for the child to be able to see a wider range. When they are outdoors, they are able to see much more, and that higher spatial frequency has also shown to benefit myopia reduction. And the last is, how does it work biochemically? They found out that there is an increase in dopamine release and formation in the amacrine cells in the retina. So this is all that there is the research that has gone into why sunlight works. Now the next thing which I want to say is that they have found irrevocably meaning in every single study that they have ever done comparing outdoor sunlight with myopia, they have found that outdoor sunlight time does help in reducing the progression of myopia. It may be by 30%, it may be by 20%, but it does, and the significance is much more. Okay, there is a good amount of significance. Now, how do we measure significance? How much? So there is a dose related difference, right? Okay, so what do I mean by dose response curve? Dose response curve meaning how much? So what does dose response curve meaning? Doctor, how long do I have to send the child out? How many days do I have to do this? So multiple studies have been done, and they have found that it is important that the child have at least 2 hours of outdoor sunlight time. Okay, and then there have been studies, let me show you one of the studies where they've compared Norway. Norway does not have bright sunlight, and yet the children in Norway have much lesser chances of myopia than other areas. So why is that? They have found that even in winters when it's fairly dark, the children still get outdoor sunlight time for 2 hours a day, and during the summers most of Norway is outdoors. They have a very outdoorsy lifestyle, and every child has a minimum of 4 hours of outdoor sunlight time during the summers. While in city lives, where they compared with Sydney, a child generally gets about 90 minutes of outdoor sunlight time a day. So it's very important, the dose response. So how long can you keep your child out? How much of outdoor sunlight time are they getting? And that is why at least 120 minutes, at least 2 hours of outdoor sunlight time every single day, or at least 14 hours a week. So that is what the studies have shown, that is the best way. So there's a positive dose response, and it depends on two things. One is the lux, which is the intensity of light. How bright is the light, right? And the brightness, you don't have to send them out in the blazing sun. Even a cloudy day, even early morning, even evening will have a brighter light, more lux than would be in an indoor lighting. Okay, and the time, as I already told you. The next thing is what and when. So what do I do? What should the child be doing when the child is out, and when do I send the child out? We already went through that in the video, but let me reconfirm that you can send your child out in the morning, afternoon, or evening. You can send your child out when in the shade, also in shaded trees, under shaded trees, or in hallways or balconies, will also have more lux and more intensity of brightness of outdoor than indoors. And the next thing is, what should your child be doing? They can be doing anything. It need not be strenuous physical exercise. Having a little bit of where they are not near work, but they are doing something far, where they are looking outwards, when they are relaxed, where their accommodation of the eye is relaxed, are the best physical exercises, are the best exercises to do when they are outdoors. So somewhere where they are gazing out, when they have a broader range of vision. So it could be just catch and catch, catching a ball, something light and fun. The next thing which I want to talk about is should they be wearing sunglasses or a hat, because sun protection is important. Sun protection, yes, definitely use sunscreen, because a lot of skin cancers, skin darkening, pigmentation, aging can happen because of outdoor sunlight. So you want to protect that using a good sunscreen. Now, do you want to wear sunglasses? I do not recommend using sunglasses, because sunglasses can change the spectrum, chromatic spectrum that is reaching the eyes. It will also reduce the brightness of light that is entering the eyes, and definitely in the mornings you don't want them to be wearing, because it will reduce the amount of melatonin that is secreted at night. But so if the child is able to keep their eyes open comfortably, then do not put sunglasses. Yes, you can use a hat instead or a cap instead. That is just my advice, that don't use sunglasses. The entire idea is to have bright light entering the eyes. So this is all the research that has gone into outdoor sunlight time and myopia. I really hope that it has helped you to move away from carrots, seeking for carrots, and moved away from I'm going to stop my child's mobile screen time, and has shown you that there is tremendous evidence-based medicine in the power of outdoor sunlight time for your myopia. Thank you for watching, and share this video with any person who would benefit from watching this. So what are some of the things that you can do in your family that will help increase the outdoor sunlight time? First is talk to your school, talk to your teachers on how you can increase the outdoor sunlight time in schools. The most of the researches that have been done in China, Taiwan, Singapore and in different countries is that they have increased recess time, and they lock the rooms when the child, so that the child cannot come back into the classrooms during recess time. So they get that 1 hour of outdoor recess time. In India, unfortunately, we have parents, we have teachers who say you should sit in the class and finish your tiffin, only then you can go out to play, and by that time the recess time is over, so the child does not get outdoor sunlight time. So changing these in the schools, helping teachers understand the importance of outdoor sunlight time and how they need to have recess outdoors. Taking classes outdoors where English or literature or Hindi, where a child doesn't need to be writing so much, or poetry classes or recitation classes. Any of the classes which can be moved to outdoor setting should be moved outdoor setting, and this is something that you can explain to your teachers, explain to your schools. You can share this video with them, which might help them to take it into account that yes, we are helping not just one child but all the children and the entire population by helping reduce myopia. The next thing is making the rooms, the classrooms really bright and airy and having very big windows. Of course, the amount of light entering in might not be enough, but in China they have done a study where they've kept each desk has the luxometer, and at least 500 lux should be falling on the child's desk when they are studying. That you can bring in through bright indoor lighting or overhead lighting or bigger windows. The next thing that you can do is have more outdoor time as a family, have more picnics, have more evening outs, have more morning walks, have cycling rounds, have weekends spent outdoors, spending time outdoors, eating your lunches or breakfast in the balcony or on the terrace will also help increase the outdoor time. You can also move your child's study table or where they are going to be reading out in the balcony, take their homework out in the balcony, allowing them to have more outdoor sunlight time. So these are some of the ways that you can help your child and yourself get more outdoor sunlight.